I don't want to make these videos. I'm having a very lazy day. I'm sunbathing, but at the same time, I feel like I'm not making these videos always for you. A lot of the times I'm making them for myself as a form of counseling, and I might go out and do a walk, but until then, I'm gonna say what's on my mind. I've seen a whole bunch of videos that are of people I don't know or recognize, and I don't really know, like, is there a big market for these people that just look like strippers or prostitutes? I don't know. Um, I'm wondering if people know about me, if people have been told. I don't know what people are doing, and it's causing me a huge amount of grief because I don't know what people know. It's true that I do generally love music and films, and if you are in the music industry creating songs knowing that you're kind of posing up as me whilst I'm not allowed to do anything, that there is good in it, because I know that my higher self probably wants you to do all the stuff you're doing, and is definitely enjoying it. And I know if I was my higher self right now, even if I am just taking a bunch of, I don't know, just normal average girls and making them look like a big whore or a big hoe or a big slut in music videos, I don't like the world, and therefore, if people want to look up and idolize these people, I don't care, because I feel like they're being misled by what's good, and they're being misled by how a person should be or behave or act or think or something like this. But at the same time, there's quite a lot of entertainment into it. I'm trying to think about this Snow White girl. I mean, she seemed really nice when she was just dressed up in normal dance clothes. I saw an interview where she looked quite nice. But I don't know, what she's like. Like, if I compare her to that girl in the Big Brother house, I'd much prefer her. I think the girl in the Big Brother house, she sometimes talks in a bit like a chavvy, non nice way, and I don't know, the way she talks just is a bit kind of low lifey. Um, and so yeah, but this other girl, is she much better because she's singing songs such as I kiss boys who treat me like an animal, fuck on me and eat me like a cannibal. I mean, I wouldn't be comfortable singing these songs. But then again, if she's unaware of me, unaware of what's going on, then I know before I was woken up to what was going on, I I like didn't know what's going on, and I did a few songs where I'm looking like I'm about to die in the videos. I mean, technically, the Gaga one, that was me wanting to just get drunk and not wake up in the morning. Hence, I made a video of me dying, and I don't necessarily think there was anything wrong with that. Why? Because I didn't think that I was prophesying that something was actually going to happen, or that I was going to actually, feel even worse. Frozen song that I wrote, I didn't know that I was actually going to feel frozen, or I can't care about others because of how they're treating me. I didn't know that there was truth to that, and therefore people are in a different situation now. I know Christina turned on me 10 years ago, and a lot of them did. All of them did. I think, I'm not too sure, but I also know that back then I wouldn't have seen that powerful. I wouldn't have seen, there wouldn't have been that much evidence. And I think if people are told now that, Christ is on earth, inspiring lots of songs and making, and doing it whilst living in isolation, not wanting to be in isolation, but just not knowing why no one's coming to talk to me, and not knowing who to talk to because I don't know who's doing it. And I can guess who's doing it, but I'm not going to be going to America just to try and find their houses. You try doing the tour guides and they tell you all that, oh, this person lives over there, this person lives over there, and it's all false and it's not true. And even if it was true, I hate being confronted by people to be like, hey, you're doing things about me behind my back. I would feel awkward about confronting someone about that, especially considering I'm God, and I know that my higher self is obviously set this up and set me up um, for something that I thought wouldn't be that bad, and it's turned out to be way worse than I thought. which does make me worry about the future. You know, I still think that I'm going to get onto a show this year, and it's going to be over for me. But you know, is that just a setup like the rest of my life was? You know, I don't know, that living like this is awful, and I think the more someone knows, and less that they still don't care. You know, if they know that there's someone on earth who's, you know, going to go through some fake sacrifice, and you're just making songs about it, you know, that's there's nothing that wrong in it. But if you know that person's already gone through tons of suffering, that person's already inspired stuff, and if you look around to see the music industry and are seeing that, yeah, there is millions of people ganging up on this person, you know, you should take even more consideration to that person. You know, what are they going through, and how much do they know? Are these people, these singers, asking questions? Are they asking questions? If someone told them that Christ is on earth, and, you know, going through an isolation period, and is going to end soon, and she's going to set up something, you know, if they're told that it's real or told that it's fake, it does make a difference to how they respond. You know, if they are told that it's real, do they ask questions, and do they would they say, "Oh no, I don't want to do this," and would they actually pull out, "Oh, we'll give you this much money," you know? "Oh yeah, no." How much would it take for them to not care? How much would it take for them to care more about money than what I'm going through? And yeah, how much they know is also the consideration. And you know, some of the singers are doing things against me that are not really what I'd approve of, but at the same time, I know that my higher self is actually enjoying working with a lot of people and enjoying making these sort of creative music videos, and therefore it's not so wrong. You know, if they're doing it because, okay, they know that I'm not going through a good time, but they know that my higher self is, and that's being human is part of just the deal. And I guess then I guess it's not as bad. But yeah, what do they know? How much do they know? How long have they known for? Um, what have they been told? These are very important things, and it will affect, you know, it would affect how I feel about them. But the thing is, there's so many of them that I couldn't possibly. I don't even know how to feel. Like, you know, there's a lot of people that have done horrible things, and sometimes if I listen to their songs, I can be reminded of something that I felt a long time ago, and it's awful. Um, but then I could also blank it out and hear other songs and be like, oh yeah, I don't think that person was that bad, and really I've just forgotten like everything. And you know, I feel like there's this evil spirit that I've created, and it's kind of been created from all the suffering that I've gone through, but I don't actually remember any longer because I've just blanked it out, you know. Um, you know, I do love the music, and it is a reason to always live because of this. But you know, if I 100% knew that I was involved in all these music videos, then you know, I'd love the songs because it's like, wow, you know, if you can't be in the songs, well, at least I get to help make them. You know, I wanted to be a singer or a celebrity on earth, and I couldn't do that. So the next option was get in the industry and be a runner or whatever. Um, and But yeah, and then that didn't happen either. And then my life just got shitter and shitter, and it's awful. But yeah, as a human, I'm always living in this I don't know sort of. You know, I could say lots of stuff and believe it and be really confident sometimes, but other times I'm just like, is that the truth? I mean, am I actually getting involved in these? Is my higher self actually getting involved in this, or is it just some weird spirit that's doing it? And in which case, it's not actually me, but rather something that's being created through me. I mean, I know the spirit is doing a lot, and I don't think the spirit is me. I think the spirit comes from me, but I don't think it's me. I think my higher self is me, but you know, how do I actually know my higher self is involved in all this stuff? You know, maybe it is all just the spirit, and it's, you know, even though I can say something and I believe something and I can give you all the evidence to prove it, if you start forgetting what evidence that I had to prove it, then you go back into this I don't know phase. And when you're in this I don't know phase, things just feel like shit because it's just like, I don't know. And, you know, I'd like to think that I'll get some reward for this, but I don't think I can get a reward for this because it's just been so awful that it's like, I just want to die. Like, I don't want to be rewarded. And it also comes when it comes to punishing people, you know. I want to punish people, but at the same time, I think Earth is like hell. And if Earth is hell, then why would I want people to die? You know, I want people to live so that they can live in hell and be punished by a lot of other people that probably want to, I don't know, make a fool out of them in music videos by getting them to sing things like "Eat Me Like a Cannibal" and I don't know, just get them to sing songs that are like just gross beyond belief. And you know, when they start listening to the angels, they might start believing that they are an angel, and then they're also going to realize, but wait, Anna doesn't actually know me or like me or anything, and you know, is this actually, you know, nice what I'm singing? And they might get a nasty shock, yeah. Um, but I don't know. I just there's too many people in this world for me to really say that this is this way for that reason, because there's so many different ways of looking at things that it's just like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Um, I just I want a better life, and I want to know why people aren't putting me on TV. And a part of me feels like there was no set date, and that it was always just or one more year, or one more year, or one more year. I don't know. You know, like a part of me wonders if maybe the plan was to put me on a Big Brother right at the beginning, and then at last minute they just said, "What happens if we, like maybe people don't believe that I'm Christ, and they just think, okay, well, what if we just change the original plan? You know, is she still going to come up with things that prove that she's time traveling or whatever?" I mean, maybe that was the plan, or maybe there was a set date, and the plan was never to put me on at the beginning stages. I don't know. I don't want to be nasty about the housemates that are in there, but I feel like I have to be because I'm angry that I'm not in there, and therefore I might be harsher towards them than I would have been if I you know if I didn't want to be in there. But I'm glad that I'm not in there because I didn't really they didn't seem like the type of people that I really want to hang around with. Half of them are okay. The other half are just like not really my type, you know. Would have wanted to have a conversation with. There's a few conversations that I would have wanted to have, perhaps with the one that says Diane. You know, he criticized that Muslim woman for not knowing people's names. And I think I would have had a conversation with him about actually not knowing people's names is it's quite a life ruining thing. You know, I've had this problem with names, and it's the reason why I didn't have any friends at school because it took me so long to remember people's names that I couldn't do it. Hence why I always stuck to the side. I'll just see whose names I was able to remember and try and stick with them. But yeah, that kind of ruined my life, and therefore, yeah, I'd probably tell him that. Um, and with the one who had the cross gender, you know, I didn't like her at first because I felt like she was really insecure. You know, like she wanted a vagina just to prove that she was a woman rather than doing it for herself. Um, and but yeah, I feel like I'm a bit more warmed up to her just um, because I get that she just wants she wants a vagina that just matches the rest of her body, so she feels like every other woman, or rather than someone different. But yeah, I would have had a conversation with her about what happens if there's people like you who are female but believe that really a male. You know, if you find a partner like that, then they might actually appreciate the fact that you're both, a woman but with a dick, because then they could have kids if they're a man with a vagina. Um, you know, I would have had that conversation with her. Um, but but yeah, it's not really that important. Um, but yeah, that blonde one is a bit annoying and schizo, but at the same time, she's a bit interesting to watch. So